Thursday, October 14 is our next regular meeting with a work session at 7, at least part of which will be devoted to the discussion of marijuana opt-in, opt-out. So a couple of announcements to make. One of the reasons we were late tonight is we're having some internet problems. That has been reported all over the village. Eric, I think, is trying to catch up with whoever at Verizon to try to address that question. Here at the village, we're on LightPath, so there certainly have been internet issues, and we're advocating in any way we can. Just be clear that it's not under the village's control. Those are free market exchanges by private companies, and we push them to do the right thing, but are not always successful. Couple of other reports to make. One is, as we have sent out in email alerts, we do ask everybody to lock their car. This area and this region has been affected by some car thefts. Routinely, cars that are left unlocked with the keys in them. Please, 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 please protect yourself from that risk and protect our community from being known as a place where there are lots of cars unlocked with the keys in the ignition. So not a big ask. Please, please, please help us with that. Did others have announcements of any kind? Paul, you want to talk about Oktoberfest?
Yes. So following up with everyone, we're excited at the Chamber of Commerce, and I've worked together with also the village to try to plan Oktoberfest for this Saturday. I've been in a lot of discussions, a lot of the businesses, and we're eager to have an event like this. We're trying something out for the first time here in Pleasantville. We have closed Wheeler in the past last year, and a lot of the residents enjoyed it. So now we're just going to include businesses that will be promoting different things that they sell. Some that are not on Wheeler will be coming and setting up booths. So it's almost kind of like a feel of Pleasantville Day a bit, because we did miss that last year and this year. So I am hoping that my fellow board members are all in agreement with me that we push forward with this plan, that it would be this Saturday, October the 2nd, between 4 and 9 p.m. We have about 20 businesses right now that will be participating. Some are already on Wheeler, like I said, others are not. And we look forward to having an event like this, to try something out like this, and hope that maybe it can be a new tradition that we can have. So I ask my board to support me in this plan that I've been trying to get forward all summer. And we've had some obstacles here and there, but I think we're almost there.
Got the right guy on the job, Paul Alvarez. Thank you for that, Paul. Quick COVID update. As I reported at each meeting, our August numbers were very, very, very nervous-making. Our September numbers are quite a bit better. COVID is not gone, but it appears to be headed in a better direction in the month of September. So we currently have 10 active cases. We had 1 new today, and cumulatively we've had 819 cases in the village of Pleasantville. So that's testament to the fact that immunizations work. It's testament to the fact that people are paying attention and wearing masks, as we all are here. Please, please, please help yourself, help us, and let's get rid of this thing. So, further comment of any sort?
Yeah, just so on October 31st on Halloween, we are planning to have the 2nd annual candy crawl. That is a reverse trick-or-treat where the goodies come to you. We will, once again, with Shane McGaffey, now apparently the chairman of the board of education, which is very impressive. With him and other people from that board and me and other people from this board, we will be driving 3 routes around the village, and also including the school district streets that are not in the village. Last year we were able to get every single street in our pathway. In a couple of weeks' time, you'll hear from the village. We'll announce some donations. We do all of this on donated candy that we sort of recycle into the community. We haven't heard yet from the State Health Board about that, but this is a safe way during these continuing times of COVID to bring your kids out to the front lawn. We'll have a couple, hopefully, Absent any emergencies, we'll have a couple of fire trucks this year leading us, and it should be lots of fun, so please do come out.
Thank you, David, and thank you for doing this. It's much appreciated.
I just want to congratulate the schools on an amazing homecoming weekend. Honestly have not seen Pleasantville more alive since COVID started, and it was thrilling to be just in and around the schools for those 3 days leading up to it and including it. So, really wonderful weekend for the town.
Yeah, and on that note, as long as we're congratulating the schools, I want to congratulate you on the reopening, the return to school. In French, it's la rentrée. It's just so thrilling to have the kids back in school full time and to know that you guys are doing such an excellent job in keeping them safe. And, modified sports are back and everything. And I just wanted to express my appreciation of the good effort that you all have made.
Good people working in hard times, much appreciated. All right, is there a motion to open a public hearing on introductory local law number 6 of 2021?
I so move.
Okay, I should report what it is. Chapter 173, Article 7, Section 75, the Code of the Village of Pleasantville concerning parking on Manville Road, 61 feet east of Washington Avenue to 30-minute time limit spaces. David has moved it. Is there a second?
Second.
Welcome to the public hearing. Eric, you want to describe this modest matter?
Sure. So there are two 15-minute time-limited parking spaces on essentially the intersection of Washington and Manville, and it had historically been put in place to help former retailer in that area, liquor store. So customers would go in, just needed 15 minutes. Those spaces had been taken up by patrons of the Burns Theater. So at the time, they lobbied the board, got a 15-minute time-limited parking space. So the new tenant is requesting that actually be extended to 30 minutes. And that's what we have before us tonight.
All right, any comments from the board? Comments from the public of any kind on this matter? Hearing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. The resolution is on later in the agenda. Now to the resolutions, number 238, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the minutes of the regular meeting held on September 13th, 2021. The minutes are attached, and you can find the meeting itself on PCTV that has been recorded.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 239, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments for fiscal year ending in 2022 as listed below. Appropriate fund balance general fund, $203,000 transfer to capital to Village Hall oil tank removal and HVAC fund. $91,000 transfer to capital Clinton Street Center improvements. And increased revenue and expense capital fund, $203,000. Same transfer from interfund transfer from general fund to Village Hall oil tank removal and HVAC. $91,000 for interfund transfer from general fund for the Clinton Street Center improvements.
Is there a second?
Second.
So the 203,000 is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. Village Hall had a oil tank that used to service this building. The village is responsible for the removal and remediation. So when we went to remove the condenser units, we also had to remove and remediate the contamination from the oil tanks. So that's what that cost represents, is actually completing the oil tank removal, remediation, and the HVAC condenser units.
All right, comments or questions?
Aye.
Aye. How would you spell that in the minutes, Alyssa? Aye.
OYE.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 240, Michael.
I think it's me, right?
David, yes, right, I'm sorry.
Resolve the Board of Trustees hereby approves the abstract for the payment of claims dated September 27th, 2021 for fiscal year ending 2022, covering check numbers 101,473 to 101,600. From the general fund, $260,707.07. From the water fund, $159,618.85. From the capital fund, $133,604.61. From the refuse fund, $17,489.94. From the trust fund, $2,180 for a total of $573,600.47 payments. Descriptions attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or questions on the payment of claims? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Now it's Michael, 241.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the request from Holy Innocents Parish to close the Tompkins Avenue parking lot to public parking on Sunday, October 3rd, 2021, from 4 o'clock p.m. until 8 o'clock p.m. for the purpose of a parish special event.
Is there a second?
Second.
As I often do when we have such a request, I make clear that that parking lot at the corner of Tompkins and Manville is owned by Holy Innocents, and we maintain it in exchange for some public use of it. We're happy on this occasion to give back to Holy Innocents their own lot. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
approved. 242, Paul.
Whereas introductory law 6 of 2021 has been introduced to amend chapter 173, article 27, section 75 of the Code of the Village of Pleasantville to change two 15-minute time limited parking spaces on the north side of Manville Road, 61 feet east of Washington Avenue, to 30-minute time limit spaces. And whereas a public hearing concerning the introductory law 6 of 2021 was held and closed on September 27, 2021. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts local law 7 of 2021. Attached, you can find local law 7.
Is there a second?
Second.
This is the other shoe dropping from the public hearing of a moment ago. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 243, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign the prisoner transport agreement with Westchester County for the effective dates January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. And the agreement is attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
A similar pro forma arrangement to previous years?
That's right. Yep. We transport prisoners to and from county facilities. It's actually less of a burden in this day and age, given bail reform.
Understood. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 243, David.
Okay, so is that
The
the, is it 244 then?
Yeah,
perhaps?
244.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
244, yes, sorry.
Consider authorizing the mayor and/or village administrator to execute a license agreement with the property owner of 12 Summit Place for the construction, use, and maintenance of a parking area partially located in the Summit Place right-of-way. Whereas Nancy J. Candy, licensee, owner of property located at 12 Summit Place, Pleasantville, New York, 10570, and designated on the tax assessment map of the town of Mount Pleasant as parcel 99.15-3-7, the property has requested the Village Board of Trustees grant a permit to license to permit licensee use of a portion of Summit Place right-of-way to construct, use, and maintain a parking area for one vehicle, and whereas the licensee obtained site plan approval from the Village of Pleasantville Planning Board pursuant to the resolution dated September 8th, 2021, to establish a parking area of 10.5 feet by 24 feet, consisting of a total of 221 square feet, located partially within the Summit Place right-of-way and partially on the property, as shown on the plans entitled New Parking Area Candy Residence Site Plan Parking Plan Photos, dated 7/19/21, prepared by Edwin O. Elliott Jr., AIA, the site plan, and whereas the site plan approval is conditioned upon the licensee securing a license agreement from the Board of Trustees for use of the Summit Place right-of-way as shown on the site plan, and whereas the area of the Summit Place right-of-way upon which the parking space would encroach is not currently needed for village purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Pleasantville hereby authorizes the mayor and/or village administrator to take all actions necessary to execute a license agreement with Nancy J. Candy upon terms and conditions consistent with the attached license agreement for the construction, use, and maintenance of a parking area partially located in the Summit Place right-of-way as shown on the site plan, subject to the conditions in the site plan approval resolution dated September 8th, 2021, and subject to review and approval by the village attorney as to form and substance agreement attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
This was a matter that came before us, and we were agreeable to it contingent upon the planning commission's agreement. They have come to this approval and send it back to us. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
I will abstain just because this person has volunteered on my political campaign.
Okay, so it passes 4 to, with 1 abstention. 245, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the mayoral appointment of Seth Gladstone to the Zoning Board of Appeals through April 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Seth Gladstone, for agreeing to do this. He replaces the outgoing Michael Shalinski, who retired from the board. Thank you, Michael, for your years of service. Thank you, Seth, and welcome. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. 246, Paul.
Wait. Is it Paul? Oh, yeah, Paul,
Yep.
sorry.
Second. That's okay. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes a stipend of engineering service provided by Jeffrey Econom, PE, be increased to an annual rate of $15,000 retroactive to June 1st, 2021. And be it further resolved that the stipend for engineering services shall be subject to recalculation and increase based on village management salary increases.
Is there a second?
Second.
This arises from the discussion with Jeff and the recognition on the part of the board of the many virtues attached to having a licensed professional engineer on our staff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 247, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign the agreement with Rimkunas Engineering P. LLC for the pool reconstruction project for a fee of $268,100, and the agreement is attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
So we're now headed to the real life drawings for this project.
That's right.
Eric, you want to?
Sure, so we engaged with Remunkus Engineering for design scoping services. We now have settled on the design. We have, so we have engaged with Remunkus Engineering for design services. We've gone through that process, settled on a design. Now we move into the construction document phase where the actual technical drawings are developed, submitted to the DOH, goes through the permitting process. And this contract also engages the engineering firm through construction administration. So, so far, they've been great to work with, very responsive, and we recommend moving forward with them.
Yeah, I echo that. He's been great, so much appreciated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
motion approved. 248, David.
Resolved the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign the license agreement with Soul Brewing to allow a food truck to operate on village right-of-way during selected dates, subject to final review and approval by the village attorney. Cool.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments, questions?
Which is the village right of way?
Eric, you want to explain the?
Sure. So Soul Brewing is seeking to engage a food truck to either, and this is still up for discussion, either put it in a parking spot on our property or in one of our municipal parking lots, the Bedford Road parking lot. Either way would need a license agreement in place. He's seeking to do it sometime in October. So this authorizes us to enter into that license agreement pending those finer details. So right-of-way is essentially village property.
Okay. But it's not a planned, like, every Saturday
No.
at some spot or, okay.
No.
It's, I see. Thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 249, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation of Carmen Del Victoria Otero, Laura Walsh, and Victoria Smith, Recreation Assistants, Panther Club, effective September 27th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 250, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation from school crossing guard Anthony Tufo and James Vetrano, effective September 27, 2021. The resignation letters are attached to this resolution.
All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. I've always wondered what happens if we refuse to ratify a resignation. 251, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation from Parking Enforcement Officer Marion Boone, effective November 12th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
Marion has served us ably and for a very long time and is retiring effective November 12th. We will miss her. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. 252, David.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the closure of Wheeler Avenue from Manville Road to Bedford Road for the Pleasantville Oktoberfest on Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, from 2 until 10 p.m. And further resolved, the Board of Trustees authorizes the police chief to post no parking signs effective Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. and to tow, I think there's a typo there, and to tow all vehicles in violation of the temporary parking restriction.
Paul, can we have a second?
Can I? I mean, I planned
Yeah,
it.
you
I
can.
will definitely second it.
Okay. Further to the discussion we already had in Paul's report about this coming Saturday, October 2nd, be there or be square. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 253, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the resignation from Mount Pleasant Public Library Board of Trustees, Robert Herster, effective December 31st, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bob is a longstanding library trustee and village volunteer. We thank him for his service and also thank him for giving us a little runway until his effective date of December so that we have a chance to fill that spot.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I've been sitting in as the liaison for coming up on 3 years now, something like that.
Yep. I think so.
And he's been very engaged and critical to the function of that board. So it's a great example of somebody who has a flourishing professional career in other regards, taking their time to serve the community and completely as a volunteer. And I hope that other people step up and follow the same example. So thank you very much to Robert.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 254, back to you, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the appointment of Dominic Garzone as a part-time laborer, effective September 28, 2021, at a rate of $20.62 per hour.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 255, Nicole.
Okay. All right. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the hiring of the following part-time recreation assistant, job code 0269, Lori Duva King, at a rate of $20 an hour, effective 9/28/21, for Panther Club. Further resolved that such appointments are contingent upon successful completion of mandatory background checks.
Is there a second?
Second.
Welcome, Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. 256, David.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the transfer of job title from seasonal to part-time available for the following part-time recreation assistants, job code 0269. Manisha Bayayana, rate of $50 an hour, effective 9/17/21, youth programs. Kirsten Owen, $15 an hour, 9/17/21, youth programs. Bailey Rogers, $20 an hour, 9/17/21, youth programs. Miranda Miller, $15 an hour, 9/17/21 in youth programs. And Lena Rivera, $33 an hour, 9/17/21 youth programs. Further resolved that such appointments are contingent upon successful completion of mandatory background checks.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. 257.
Me. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the transfer of job title from seasonal to part-time available for the following part-time recreation assistant, job code 269. Francesca Varga at $60 an hour, effective 9/17/21 for preschool programs. Nicholas O'Halloran at $20 an hour, effective 9/17/21 for preschool programs. Kirsten Owen at $15 an hour, 9/17/21 for preschool programs. Bailey Rogers at $20 an hour, effective 9/17/21 for preschool programs. And Miranda Miller at $15 an hour, effective 9/17/21 for preschool programs.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. 258, the last of this long raft.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the hiring of Mark Taylor as park seasonal laborer, job code 425, at a rate of $14 per hour, effective September 28th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. We've gotten to the end of it. Thank you all for your attention. Sorry we got started late. As reported, our marijuana discussion was taped and will be up at pctv76.org within a few days. If you missed it or if you wanted to revisit it, we will continue that discussion in work session at 7 p.m. at our next regular meeting, which is not on Monday because of Columbus Day. It is on Thursday, October 14. Thank you for your attention. Happy fall. Is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss a contract and a personnel matter?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good evening all. See you in 2.5 weeks as we head into executive session.